Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, you're probably hearing the breeze blowing in the background. I am what you need. You're watching my channel. I hope everybody's having a good day. And we want to talk some boxing. As you can see from the title, fantasy fights and possible matchups in boxing. We're going to talk about that. And you guys can just drop in, leave your comments. I'm trying to read them off on my screen. Let's get into it, all right? So, let's start off with some fantasy matchups. And these are impossible fights that could have possibly happened. Let's start off with Sugar Ray Leonard versus Aaron the Hawk Pryor. And what did you guys think about that fight? What do you think of that matchup? That was a fight that was close to happening but never happened. All right? So how it started off was that Aaron Pryor, he called out Sugar Ray Leonard in a press conference. He was like, come on, man, let's make this fight happen, okay? And then Sugar Ray Leonard was like, not here, not now. We're going to have to iron that stuff out. And Sugar Ray Leonard, they put a proposal to Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor rejected it. They came back to negotiations eventually. And at first, Aaron Pryor was trying to get Sugar Ray Leonard to do something. But eventually, they put a proposal to him. And he thought that was too low. So that called off for a period of time. But eventually, there was a renegotiation. And Aaron Pryor actually agreed to it. And just before they had the fight, Sugar Ray Leonard had an eye injury where he had a detached retina or something like that. He said it was within sparring. And Sugar Ray Leonard, 6 months after, basically retired from the sport of boxing. Now, even so, Aaron Pryor got an opportunity to face the great super featherweight champion. And he fought him twice as a champion. And Sugar Ray Leonard came back within that space of time. And he fought one guy, I think it was Kevin Howard, he fought. And he felt he didn't look so good in that fight. He retired again. So within that window right there, Sugar Ray Leonard could have faced Aaron Pryor. And was close. Well, we say close. I don't know if he ever really wanted to mess with Aaron Pryor, to be honest with you. But he was close to it. Now, when I go on forums and stuff, people talk about how, contrary to all the evidence that we see, that if Sugar Ray Leonard was to be paired off against guys like Manny Pacquiao, or Mayweather, or even Marquez, he'd be too big for them, too strong. Guys like to say he's too big, too strong, too powerful for those guys, and he would stop them all. And one guy went as far as to say stop him in 4 rounds. There's a lot of evidence that supports the opposite. When Sugar Ray Leonard faced Roberto Duran, yeah, Duran was acclimatized to welterweight, just like Mayweather or Pacquiao or Marquez is acclimatized to welterweight. But in my personal opinion, Roberto Duran was still a lightweight. He came from a lower division. In fact, he started off as a super featherweight, just like Mayweather. And the thing about it is that a lot of the people who say, or they claim, that Sugar Ray Leonard's too big, too strong, too powerful for guys like Mayweather, Marquez, and Pacquiao. Well, of course, we all know Marquez he could crack. Pacquiao had a little pop too, he could crack as well. And Mayweather, a lot of people have the opinion that he could not crack. I don't know where they get this information from. Roy Jones Jr. was the first to say, no, Mayweather has pop. You know, he can crack. Okay, it's just that ain't nobody walking through Mayweather to start with. He can crack, but he do it in a different kind of way, right? Let me get past these dogs. I'm gonna gonna go to the park or something, sit down, talk with you guys for a couple minutes. So anyway, um, that's besides the point. The point is, Duran beat Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime, on a high, and the way how he beat Sugar Ray Leonard was really it had almost nothing to do with boxing. It had everything to do with getting into Sugar Ray Leonard's mind. He played a mind game on him, and Sugar Ray Leonard bit the bait. What did Duran do? He got Sugar Ray Leonard so heated, so mad, that Sugar Ray Leonard decided to fight Roberto Duran's fight, then fight his own fight. He decided to go toe-to-toe with Roberto Duran because of the very reasons a lot of people in the forums say he was bigger, he was stronger, and he hit harder. We learned going up against Duran, guess who hurt who? Duran hurt Sugar Ray Leonard. It wasn't the other way around. Sugar Ray Leonard didn't hurt Duran. Duran hurt Sugar Ray Leonard. Isn't that crazy? And so, my hand is getting tired. It's crazy. But anyway. And what's so crazy about that is Duran was coming up from lightweight. Now, they always say, if you can crack, you can crack. It doesn't really matter what division you come up from. If you can crack, you can crack. Okay? And we knew this because Duran knocked down Carlos Palomino. Oh, okay. I don't think I could come and chill here. Somebody, I could come and chill. I could come and chill. Yeah. I'll be out of the guy's way. Unless he just wants to follow me. He ain't gonna do that. Right. Yeah. Duran could crack. And we know this because he dropped Carlos Palomino. He knocked out Pipino Cuevas. No, wait, that's Thomas Fenner. Sorry, my bad. he stopped 2 welterweights in the process of that happening. So we knew that Roberto Duran could crack. If you can crack, you can crack. Okay? As you go up in weight class, you just be getting more cracking power, right? You crack harder. So we kind of knew that Duran could crack, and the evidence was there. The evidence was in the air. All right, cool. Close up 10 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. Aaron Pryor also could crack, but Aaron Pryor wasn't a guy that tried to get you out with one punch. He'd accumulate punches on you, and he'd drum you because he was like Pacquiao. He was relentless. He just go da. He was relentless. He was like Energizer Bunny. In fact, he reminds me a lot of the other Ohio native, Showtime Shawn Porter. And to me, Showtime Shawn Porter kind of models himself after a guy like Aaron Pryor. And Showtime Shawn Porter is a problem for just about everybody in the welterweight division right now. He's just bigger. He's a bigger dude, I think, than this is just a field. I don't know if you can see it, but beautiful. And the rain's been coming through these days, and we have a tropical storm that might hit us. I don't know if it's going past us or not. And then we might have an earthquake, so we got to watch out for all of that. But here's some mangoes. They're not fully formed, but they are. They're on the ground, just lying around. Crazy, ain't it? I know it's a crazy life. So anyway, before we wrap up the 10 minutes, let me get into it. So Sugar Ray Leonard basically facing Aaron Pryor. What are we dealing with? Sugar Ray Leonard was a fighter who did not face Aaron Pryor. So this is my second factual information by subtraction. He didn't face Aaron Pryor. See, if he had faced Aaron Pryor, we knew if he could deal with a Pacquiao, a Marquez, or a Mayweather. Marquez being a counterpuncher. His thing was counterpunching. Mayweather being a counterpuncher, but an active counterpuncher in the sense that he can move around, box around the ring. He could come to you. He could come back. And what I've learned about Mayweather, what a lot of people who fought Mayweather say is he wasn't that fast at throwing combinations, but he could throw. Well, he was fast at throwing combinations too, but he didn't usually throw a lot of combinations, at least later on in his career. But the thing that got them every single time is how ridiculously quick his reaction time is. I've listened to every fighter that faced him say he's just so fucking quick with his reaction time, you know, and that's the thing that surprised me. So that's one of the things. Of course, you know, punch selection and everything else is very calculated with Mayweather and where he targets and so on. But that's Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's like Aaron Pryor. He's busy. He's constantly moving. He's constantly dipping and slipping and sliding off to the side and going weak side and sometimes shifting. And his defense is kind of like Aaron Pryor. So when people say, well, Sugar Ray Leonard would mop the floor with Manny Pacquiao, I'm looking at them like, first of all, let's see him mop the floor with Aaron Pryor. You know, Aaron Pryor is a handful, and he was a serious problem. He had stopped, he had knocked down Thomas Hearns twice in the amateurs when Thomas Hearns faced him with that ridiculous height and reach. And I mean, he really beat up, brutalized Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns got some punches in, but I mean, you know, Aaron Pryor got a chin and all of that. So just to see Aaron Pryor was a sparring partner of Sugar Ray Leonard, and Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't having it. Like, none of the Four Kings wanted anything to do with Aaron Pryor. It was like, we're not even saying his name. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Pryor and Mike McCallum tried to knock on their doors, and nobody answered. All right. And so when I think of champions and stuff, I think of these dudes, and with particularly Aaron Pryor. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. Aaron Pryor was a fighter who not only threw volume, but he had a lot of skill. He could bob and weave. He could slip punches. He countered with either hand, so he could shift and counter with either hand. He throw hooks with his right hand or his left hand. Remember, that's so important. He was like a counter aggressive puncher. That means he'd counter you with combinations. He wouldn't just counter you with one or two shots. He'd counter you with combinations, mix it up to the head, to the body, change levels, leaping left hooks, spear jabs, you name it, he's got it. Spear jabs, shotgun jabs, touch jabs. I mean, he did it all. You know, he loved, very aggressive, so he always coming forward, but he could fight off the back foot as well. And he did some very athletic things, like he would come with a spear jab. You know, he dipped very low and come off the ground with a spear jab. So he dipped super low, way below you, come up top, constantly moving. So he's like a constant up and down, side to side moving target. Okay. He was very difficult to hit because of that. And then even if you hit him flush, he had a hell of a chin. You could knock him down with a shot that's supposed to knock out somebody, and he get back up off the ground from it and still keep coming. So Aaron Pryor was a handful for Sugar Ray Leonard. And so Sugar Ray Leonard now was more of a Sugar Ray Robinson sort of fan. So he did a lot of things Sugar Ray Robinson would do. Like he would, you know, work off the jab, for example. He constantly work off his jab. His pivot work wasn't tight like a Mayweather pivot work. He was more of a jab kind of guy, come and then step around you. So he was a step arounder. He did a lot of dipping. So he would dip from punches. Didn't really slip punches and come to the inside or slip and slide. Wasn't really a slip and slide kind of dude. But he was a guy that he would change the angle of his jab. So for example, he's very subtle with that. He'd counter jab you instead of say pull counter you. Even though I've seen him pull counter. Didn't really check hook much. Wasn't a bob and weaver really. Didn't really change levels. Like he preferred to bend over and throw a jab to the body downwards than change levels, dip with his body, and then throw something, right? So, you know, he didn't make himself small to fight a big dude. Even though, he might give him a game plan. Like when he fought Thomas Hearns the second time, you give him the game plan where you got to get small, got to slip that jab, get below it, and come up top. He still wouldn't execute that kind of game plan, and that was the game plan that really you used to beat Thomas Hearns. You got to get to the inside. He used the two guard, but again, a loose rope and two guard he used, which is a double guard or peekaboo defense. So he would do those kinds of things. Good cerebral fighter, very, very instinctive fighter. He always try to get you back. He got that vicious killer instinct inside of him, and made for exciting fights because he would stand there and trade with you instead of do the smarter thing and slip, get out of the way. But he uses defense. He would snap back from punches. He would dip from punches, that kind of stuff. He didn't really bob and weave. He didn't do all of that. He didn't slip and slide. Didn't check hook. Uses jab when he's going backwards. That kind of thing. Nice footwork. He had nice footwork on the outside, bounce on the outside, or sometimes he would step in. So he would step in. He's an in and out action, step in, and then he come back out from stepping in, and he feint you as if you're going to come in and then step back out. So that was kind of Thomas Hearns kind of thing. Not Thomas Hearns, sorry, Sugar Ray Leonard. You would see him in fights doing, and he was very effective with it because he was a master at doing that sort of thing. So, without going into 20 minutes, what I think of a matchup between Aaron Pryor and Sugar Ray Leonard, I think Aaron Pryor would be a very difficult fight for Sugar Ray Leonard because Sugar Ray Leonard didn't do so well against smaller guys who could move, or smaller guys who were very busy and active. And if you look at first Roberto Duran fight where he fought Duran's fight, as soon as he got roped into Duran's fight, Duran hurt him. Duran is a flat-footed fighter, but Duran is quick. He's very explosive. So that's how he gets all his leverage and power. And he'll bully you around the ring if you allow him. With Aaron Pryor, he had a different kind of bullying, but he was a similar kind of type of aggressive fighter as Duran in the sense that his mindset was to plow you over and take you out. Okay, Manny Pacquiao has a similar mindset. Again, in and out, kind of clever kind of thing. He's more in and out kind of fighter, come around you, circumvent you, that kind of thing. And so he would also give Sugar Ray Leonard problems because, again, Sugar Ray Leonard was a fighter who didn't really think defense first. Even though he had defense, he didn't think to engage, try to overpower Manny Pacquiao. That would be a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. So, as Oscar De La Hoya learned very quickly, even though I think he would be the biggest, strong fighter, so I don't think he would actually be knocked out by Manny Pacquiao. I think get situations with Duran where he get buckled or even dropped, but he wouldn't be stopped. I don't think so. I don't think he'd be stopped by Aaron Pryor either, but I could see Aaron Pryor dropping him or something like that. Pryor was a handful. So in the end, what I'm saying is a matchup between, say, the Hawk and Sugar Ray Leonard. Alexis Seguela was the guy that Hawk took out, and also Antonio Cervantes. A fight between the Hawk and Sugar Ray Leonard would be a hell of a fight. I think Sugar Ray Leonard might prevail, but with a lot of damage, or the Hawk would take it, and he'd probably take it with multiple knockdowns of Sugar Ray Leonard. Leonard would probably knock him down multiple times as well. It'd be a very exciting fight, but I do think, if anything, the Hawk might even take it from Sugar Ray Leonard. It's very possible. So if I was to look at that fight, I would say 60-40 favoring Sugar Ray Leonard because he's bigger, but I say 60-40 favoring Sugar Ray Leonard, but really very easily it could be the Hawk that took that. With Manny Pacquiao, again, Sugar Ray Leonard, just because he never faced the Hawk and Manny Pacquiao being the southpaw on top of that, I see Sugar Ray Leonard having a lot of problems with Manny Pacquiao. And again, Manny Pacquiao getting a win this time over Sugar Ray Leonard. I would favor Manny Pacquiao to beat Sugar Ray Leonard 60-40. Now you say, but the Hawk doesn't beat Sugar Ray Leonard, but Pacquiao does? I'll tell you why. Pacquiao southpaw. The southpaw aspect, Sugar Ray Leonard hadn't faced a lot of southpaws in his career. So that southpaw aspect is just going to catch Sugar Ray. And then Pacquiao was just that much faster than Aaron Pryor, that much more explosive, So I see Pacquiao actually beating Sugar Ray Leonard. Whereas, and this is controversial, a lot of people will not believe I'm saying this, I actually see Pacquiao beating Sugar Ray Leonard. I'd see the Hawk damn near, it'll be an epic fight with the Hawk. And I think that Sugar Ray Leonard could prevail against the Hawk, but he would suffer a lot of damage from it, or and he not knocking out the Hawk. It's not happening. If anybody's gonna get knocked out, Sugar Ray Leonard, and he don't get knocked out like that. He's determined. But I can see the Hawk beating him definitely. But I favor Sugar Ray Leonard because mainly because of the fact of the body of work he did versus the Hawk's body of work. With Pacquiao, you see the body of work Pacquiao has done. And you see the problems Pacquiao even gave to Floyd at certain points in the fight. Pacquiao going to get to you, he's going to hurt you. And the way how Sugar Ray Leonard reacts to getting hurt is not the same way Mayweather does. Don't keep his composure like Mayweather does. And so I just think Pacquiao would beat him. Whereas Aaron Pryor, I see Aaron Pryor beat him. I see situations with that. But I still give Sugar Ray Leonard the benefit of the doubt on that one. So I give Sugar Ray Leonard versus the Hawk a 60-40 chance of winning. I edge it to Sugar Ray Leonard. I even say 55-45 be better. That Sugar Ray Leonard would probably beat the Hawk, but it would be such a hard fight for him that I don't think he would want to face the Hawk ever again. He wouldn't want a rematch. And if it came to being a draw, which could be possible, he wouldn't want that rematch. But anyway, that is my fantasy fight. Listen to you guys. You can leave in the comment section a whole bunch of other things you think, or who would face who you think would win. And it doesn't have to be a fantasy fight. It could be a current fight coming up. Whatever. Leave it in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys later on What You Need. You can watch my channel. If you guys like to donate to my channel, feel free to do so via MoneyGram. All right. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.